Hello and welcome once again from my underground lair, the new location. So, a couple things I wanted to continue on from last time. Last time we were talking about overall strategy between North and South and why the war probably dragged on far longer than anybody expected. Well, first of all of the previous wars the United States had been in had been relatively small scale. So the US hadn't had to keep troops, enlisted for, all that long. They could get a few volunteers, dismiss them, get a new crop of volunteers, and this war pretty much changed that whole pattern. And also, here, both sides just underestimated each other. The North had 22 million people, massive manufacturing, and they thought the South just can't stand up to these resources. And the South, on the other hand, they believed in their fighting spirit. Many of the commanders and generals believed in the cause for an independent South where they were able to do what they please. And also, the South, by some quirk of fate, got all of the most brilliant commanders, especially when the state of Virginia, right here, decided to secede. Robert E. Lee, who was one of the greatest American generals at the time, decided, I'm going to side with Virginia. And there were several other commanders. And also, the secession of Virginia was a huge morale blow to the United States. Because remember, Virginia was the home of not one, but two major U.S. presidents. You had George Washington, who was universally called the father of this country, and you had Thomas Jefferson, who was one of the principal authors of the Declaration of Independence and who contributed to the early government and Constitution, Bill of Rights, for the early United States. I mean, it was huge. And I've left this map up if you want to go to the American Civil War Oversimplified Part 1. It's a really good just overview of all the little things that led up to the Civil War. But I left this up here because the early years of the war, 1861, 1862, were just riddled with defeats for the northern United States. You had the Battle of Wilson's Creek over here in Missouri. You had several skirmishes over here in what was Indian Territory at the time. And then, of course, you had the North invading Virginia and just failing miserably at the Battle of Manassas, otherwise known as the Battle of Bull Run, which was right here. Or actually, it was right over here. Now, in 1862, you do see a little bit of reversal of fortune. So, once again, just wanted to refresh your memory on the Anaconda Plan battle. I'll just go right back over here. So, the first Battle of Bull Run, or the first Battle of Manassas, was a catastrophic victory, or defeat, rather, for the Union. Then they tried a second invasion of the South down here at Yorktown. The Union Army came up here, and the Battle of 7 Days, another defeat for the Union Army. They came up again at Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville, and again lost again and again. This emboldened the South, and this again is 1862. This emboldened the South, and they decided to make an invasion of the North because if they could demoralize the North enough, if they could crush their fighting spirit, they would give up and sign a peace. So they invaded the North, and the North wound up winning at the Battle of Antietam for a couple of reasons. One, they finally used their superior numbers to their advantage, but also a copy of General Lee's battle plans, which were wrapped around a pair of cigars, were found and given to the Union General, George B. McClellan, and he was able to use those to great effect and finally furnish a Union victory. And we'll see where they take it from there next time.